Hello, everybody, and welcome to Techeries. It's been a wild week at CES 2025, so we're going to be diving into that and highlighting some really fun and some unexpected weird things. We'll see. They're
Sort of.
interesting. They're interesting, but for now, I'm Morgan, and joining me today and every weekend is this
I was
lovely
like, just
face.
today?
No, this today and every day.
I'm KP. That's right. But before we get into all the fun that happened with CES, we actually have some news regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know this is a game that many people are like anticipating this
Me being
this
one of
year.
them.
Yes, you being one of them. Will you actually play it? I don't know.
Probably not. I'll probably just sit there and watch Dan play it.
Probably. Well, I do have some news about it. So, the developers of the game have released this message on Twitter saying, and you guys have probably seen it. So, we figured we'd talk about it considering it is big news. That
Mm-hmm.
since November, we have been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. Each week has brought valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. Now, with that said, the game has a new release date of March 20th. Now, the developers say fans will learn more about updates soon, but this isn't the only issue Ubisoft is having with delaying the game. According to IGN, there was an emergency conference call with investors who grilled the CEO and CFO of Ubisoft. Now, there was discussion of Ubisoft either preparing to sell or even considering it. A press release stated the company appointed leader advisors to review and pursue various transformational strategic and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. IGN reported that the meeting was held on Thursday was either Tencent or in some other capability or capacity has moved forward in some way. Now, while Ubisoft can't say much, there are some rumors floating around that Tencent is increasingly reluctant to embrace Ubisoft, but even without them, there are only a handful of companies that are big enough and even rich enough to take on the albatross around Ubisoft's neck. So I wanted to get this out there because this has been a story that has
It's
been
been hot.
developing. Could you imagine? They're like, we can't do this anymore. I mean, they're not doing great per se. I haven't seen what their financial projectile
Mm-hmm.
is for their fiscal year. I haven't looked at any of those kind of data points. I'm sure we can go find them easily
Oh yeah,
because every company
those are out there
reports.
somewhere.
Oh yeah, they report them and put them out on the web for everybody to look at. So it'll be interesting. I don't. I'd be fascinated to see what happens if Tencent becomes the company that does buy them, if that is where the direction they're going.
It'd be interesting. I'm definitely curious to see if that is what happens. I wonder if they're increasing like reluctancy to purchase Ubisoft or and to embrace them is because of the backlash they have been getting for Shadows. Though I am really excited and highly anticipating this game. There is a lot of backlash they've gotten from fans, especially because the main protagonist of Shadows is a black man in feudal Japan. So,
Hmm.
that there's been a lot of backlash on that. Hopefully there's a story reason where that makes sense. But people are just like, why isn't it just someone who is Japanese being in the Japanese realm? So we'll see what happens and what developments, because I'm sure hopefully there's a reason. If not, I also have my questions, Ubisoft. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean, they did say just by doing a quick Google for their financial statements, as of September 30th, 2024, so last year, the group's equity was 1.697 million euros.
Okay.
So that was up year over year. And its non-IFRS net debt was 1.102 million euros versus the non-IFRS net debt of 881 million euros at the end of September 30th, 2023.
Wow.
So Yeah, they're not doing the best. Compare if you were to
Yeah,
compare it to other companies and how their financial statements have
true.
turned out.
A
This
lot of
is
other
not.
companies put out more products too than they do.
Yeah, and I think that's also kind of a big downside to them is that they don't. But they
Mhm.
also have, their own launcher. So that has to make some money overall. Uh, they have their games that they sell, so that also brings in some money, but I just don't feel like they're making their mark right away.
Right, right. I don't disagree with you. Well, you ready to dive into this whole thing with a lot of stuff? No, we have,
Morgan,
as we said, guys, we're gonna highlight CES, and it's a lot. There is a lot, and there's a lot we're not talking about because there's just that much. We'd be here forever. But
yeah.
yeah,
We only pulled the pieces that we figured were the biggest talking points from CES. So let's start.
yeah.
Morgan's like, "Great." Perfect.
So, everybody, it was a
Why?
buzz at CES last week as tech companies from across the world met in Las Vegas to show off their latest toys. We start off our coverage with a partnership between LG and Xbox. So the partnership would,
What?
yeah, right? The partnership would mean that players would have access to hundreds of games with the Xbox app right on their LG Smart TV. Gamers who have the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will be able to access popular titles like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the anticipated game Avowed. The gaming portal will be accessible on home screen and on the home screen and will ensure gamers can effortlessly discover and enjoy their favorite games with ease. At this time, there is no release date when the Xbox Cloud gaming experience will be available on LG TVs, but it is coming.
I know. I really like this idea. To be able to have a TV and just sit there. Like I wanted to put it on Samsung because I have Samsung TVs, but
Hmm.
just put it on that one. Just skip L like
I,
LG.
lucky enough, have LG TVs, so
Well, there you go. I'd be
yeah,
curious, like if you when they do release it, what's the latency on it? Like,
right.
what does it run really smooth? How does it work overall? Does it do it like they're using a cloud base, but does that mean that it still puts something on your on your TV overall in the end? Because
Hmm.
you still need some sort of data to
Like, what's
pull
the
something.
workload that has to
Right,
be put
right.
on
What's
these
the
TVs?
workload? How long, like, what's is it gonna run your TV down? Like, I really
Hmm.
wanna know all this stuff.
Like for
So
me, like my TVs are 4 and 5 years old too. So like, how
mhm.
is it gonna? Is it is that hardware, though still it's great, they're fantastic smart TVs, is it going to have any sort of issues compared to like the new gens that are coming out?
Right.
So I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I think there's a lot to this, and I think it's a smart move
Hmm.
overall.
Obviously, if it goes well, it's not going to just be at LG. They're eventually going to make their deals and broker their stuff with other TV companies, and it'll be more accessible in the future
Oh, yeah.
on other smart TVs. But I think it's interesting. I don't really want to pay for Ultimate for it though, but yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that it's only with Ultimate, but I can understand why because they use Ultimate to be like, "Hey, this gives you a chance to go across your console to your PC,"
Right.
and it gives you more range, and so that's I mean, it's not terrible
Mhm.
overall. All right. Well, all you gamers, get ready to replace your graphics card. Well, only if you have the cash. Meet the RTX 5000 series. During CES, NVIDIA's CEO debuted the RTX 5090, the most powerful GeForce CPU ever made. It is powered by the NVIDIA Blackwell architecture and equipped with 32 gigabytes of super fast GDDR7 memory. It will have NVIDIA DLSS4 with multi-frame generation and full ray tracing with neural rendering. Now, if you're wondering about price, get ready to shell out the money for the
Yeesh.
RTX 5090, which will be available on January 30th. We're talking roughly 2 grand. The RTX 5080 will be roughly a grand. And the RTX 5070 Ti will be 749, and the RTX 5070 will be 549. Now, there's been no word on if they're going to do a 5060. They did that with the 4000s. I don't know if it's coming out. They did those kind of late last year
Hmm.
on the 4000s, so they may do it again later,
Realistically, they
you know.
probably will, only
Yeah.
because n- not a lot of people right now are gonna go and shell out 2 grand for the four. If they have four thousands, any of the 4000 series, nobody's ready to upgrade yet.
No,
They
I'm
don't
not.
need to
I mean,
upgrade yet. Like I will eventually, but I don't need to yet. I'm still in the
mhm,
3000s, and those are still holding on great. Like there
right.
isn't like an immediate requirement for a lot of upgrades unless you're maybe in the 2000s or later.
Right.
So, in my personal opinion, this price is absolutely ridiculous. Like,
Well,
I
it's the
get
same
it,
amount of pricing that they did for the 4000s when
and
they came out.
I also thought the 4000s were ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just one of those things where if like people can and will end up buying these. There is that fact for sure. However, I think as time goes on, especially with how quickly they're releasing the newer models, they're not gonna find their they're not going to be making as much profit, I think, from these as they are hoping to. Like,
Well, I had a
guys,
discussion
the
last
four
night.
thousands have not been out long.
I had a discussion last night with Tubby about this
Hmm.
because we were talking about the 5000s, and I was saying to him, I'm like, are they ever going to get to a point where they're not looking like giant bricks, right? And he goes, no, 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 they're only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. So we're literally going to have like our computers are going to be like
Well,
this much graphics card, this much everything
well,
else.
2 nights ago, Dan and I was watching a bunch of Linus Tech Tip videos and watching like their reviews, and they go around because everybody there, like you have Asus, you have there was obviously who else? There's Alienware. So, yeah, all of them are there with their own housings for the RTX 500 series, and they're all coming in like around 5 pounds plus for the weight of this thing. This is the
Yeah.
heaviest graphics card just in physical weight that we've gotten yet. So
Yeah.
these
And I
things
thought the
are
4000,
these boys are chunky. They're
I know
chunky,
it's
and
almost like,
they're gonna get bigger. I 100% agree with Tubby.
I mean, I feel like they instead of doing it this way, like the horizontal, I feel like we should do it vertical
Hmm.
because of the fact of how heavy they are. Because the biggest issue that you have, I like even my 4000 is a bit heavy, but
Yeah.
thankfully it sits okay. But you can have sagging. Like sagging's a big
Yes.
issue. So they do give
Yes.
you like you can buy little stands that you can sit underneath your graphics card to hold them. But at that heavy, that's going to be ridiculous. I feel like there's got to be a better way,
I
or
also
or
think
if you could put it at the bottom,
I was about to
like,
say that.
because
I think like the casings for like towers need to change. Like if we
yes.
can have like yeah, it's cool and great and everything. Like you probably still might need a little support stand, but for airflow for underneath your graphics card, because I think that's why they have them up so high is for like just the best part for airflow. However, we need to maybe change our tower, like our casing designs, so we can really work for those. Because I had the same thought of the weight. Like the sagging could
Mhm.
be a real problem that could end up over time causing connectivity issues. It could start pressing on other areas and other parts of your computer and causing harm to them. So
You're
yeah,
ripping your you're ripping your motherboard apart.
let's not do that. Thanks.
But think about it, it's doing this. We're ripping
Yes.
it apart, like,
Yeah.
come on. I
No,
think though, if
thank
they did
you.
it with a vertical design though, and then they added
Hmm.
more,
Like
screws.
facets. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really helpful, and they could easily do it because if you look at how everything's put together, especially with the backs, I mean,
Hmm.
you could easily then stick more USBs or HDMIs or and everything else that you need. And then you can have more room
Absolutely.
on the other side. Like there's ways to do it. It's
And for
just
fan and for cooling systems too, there I think having it on being on that vertical axis and everything will allow for whether you're using a fan cooling system, you're using liquid coolant, I think there's just more room to even get
Mhm.
yourself a bigger and better cooling system and to be able to
Yeah.
maneuver it around the rest of the insides of your computer.
Yeah. They're just gonna have to fix how the motherboard looks.
100%. And I
Yeah.
would love that. Like I love seeing the really pretty PC builds, But though I have like the fun RBG on my PC, I don't really care about it looking super pretty because for me, my main thing with gaming, though I would love a beautiful, really cool, sick looking, oh, look inside and it looks like this awesome terrarium people do now.
Yeah.
I would love that, but at the same time, it's like, I just care about the practicality. Is it going to do what I need it to do? And
Hmm.
if if I need to get myself a casing and a board and everything that allows me to put out the power usage and the just the amount of workhorse that I need to do the things
Hmm.
that we do, like that's what matters before anything else aesthetic for me.
Yeah. I did see, and this is a side note, but I did see a company make, and this kind of wigged me out because I'm like, no, because we always learn like, don't get your stuff wet, don't get, you can't make
I
anything
think I know where
wet.
you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a company that made it's a liquid, but it's supposed to be good for your computer. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really scary. Like they were sitting there dumping things in and I'm just like, "Oh my God, it's going to break. It's going to fry itself." And it's like fine, but it keeps it really cool. And I wonder if that's where we're going to go. Because if you do that kind of setup and then you do it horizontal, the water itself will actually make that piece less heavy because it makes
Right.
you because when you're in water in general, you're less heavy
Mm-hmm.
overall. You weigh the same, but you're not it's because of the buoyancy of the water that helps
Correct.
keep you feeling, lighter.
Absolutely. The
So
only
so
concern
that's
the only
a
concern I
possibility.
have with that though is like you have to I'm pretty sure you have to drain your PC every time you want to do any sort of work inside it.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, no. You they would have to make the top be like it top open as opposed to a
Yeah, it
side.
has to be able to open like a fish tank.
Yeah. But they were showing people like pulling it out,
Okay.
putting ones
Okay.
in so like
Because like
while the
my
water
my
was
thing is
cooling.
like my concern of like, oh, what if I want to go upgrade my RAM and everything else? Like, do I
Well,
just want to
everything's supposed to
shove
be
my
able to
fist
like
down into the liquid? Let me just get shirtless real quick so I can change my stuff out. Let me put my bathing suit on. Uh, it's so
Guys,
not
it's gonna be a
practical.
hot tub stream, but it's with my computer.
Hey, that
Hey.
that that works with Twitch terms of services, right? Oh goodness.
Well, one company besides RTX, and Nvidia that had a lot on their
So
plate,
much.
which had Morgan's eyes just glazed over, was Lenovo.
Yeah, there was a lot. Lenovo went hard, very hard this year at CES. One thing that was very notable for Lenovo was the Lenovo Go S that was announced, which is the first official third-party Steam OS handheld system. So our first basically third-party Steam Deck, which is pretty cool. But that's being talked about anywhere, everywhere, and there's other things I want to talk about with Lenovo. Specifically, first up is Lenovo's rollable screen. So at CES this year, Lenovo presented the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 Rollable, the world's first rollable display PC developed in cooperation with Lenovo Research. It is said the rollable ThinkBook is a rollable AI enhanced PC for the modern professional. This device really shows that Lenovo could turn forward thinking concepts into practical high performance solutions for business professionals, and the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable AI PC is designed to redefine productivity and multitasking with its unique rollable display technology. Now, it doesn't, by the way, just roll up. It is uh, vertically expanding, so it's on a roller. It slides up by vertically expanding from a compact 14-inch display to a generous 16.7 inches, all by a simple press of a dedicated key or even through hand gestures to the camera. Uses gain nearly 50%, users gain nearly 50% additional screen space in the portable form factor, which makes it ideal for business users who need flexibility and efficiency on the go. Now, thanks to the rollable screen, you will be able to adapt the screen size based on task demands, all while maintaining an ultra slim laptop footprint. It is engineered for maximum versatility and reliability by combining the portability of a traditional laptop with the expanding workspace of a larger device. So basically, it enhances user experience by enabling split screen functionality and providing dedicated widgets for easy access to frequently used apps and tools. It's also meant to encourage better posture and to reduce strain for those working long hours in front of a PC. Now, this ThinkBook Plus Gen 6 rollable is powered by an Intel Core processor, which delivers AI optimized performance and impressive power efficiency. The Intel Arc graphics, with Intel Arc graphics and robust connectivity options, the device provides reliable high-speed performance for numerous professional demands. It also includes an edge-to-edge keyboard, a 120 hertz OLED display with 400 nits brightness and 1000% DCI-PE color accuracy. So really all that means is like how bright is this display? How colorful and vibrant is it? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm actually Lenovo makes a lot of good products, and this actually has me pretty excited. I really like this idea for being an editor, for someone who does stuff, being able to like I work on 3 monitors and I split my monitors all the time. Right now while doing this show, I have our cameras on a split screen with information I need for our show for switching everything. So knowing like I could also have that, let's say I'm out, KP, like I'm on vacation, but we're still doing the show. But then I can use that to run the show and still have the split screen going. Like, because I use my tablet as my third monitor, I can have 3 monitors again.
Hmm.
So, like, I think, like, as someone, like, they're talking about business professionals, but someone who's a creative, I think there's a lot of good uses for people who do creativity work. And even sometimes I'm here just making graphics for our shows, and I'm watching YouTube. So I can do that on my computer. Now have YouTube up here and then my work down here. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I would love to have like more space, being someone who works from home a lot.
Yes,
My little
absolutely.
my little work laptop is so tiny of a screen, and I can plug in like an external computer.
Hmm.
I have one of those. I just it's just for me, it's just I don't know. Some days I just want to be like, no, I don't want to have to look at that monitor. I just want everything right in front of me kind of thing, but I want to
For
still
sure.
split things so I can
For
see
sure.
things. So yeah, I think this is really nifty. I actually have a Lenovo gaming laptop.
Hmm.
So when I am on the go, like that's the laptop I take with me, which is really fun. So like next week, I'll be on my laptop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll
It's
be
like
a little bit different, but
I also have a good gaming laptop, but it's not Lenovo. My
mhm.
father, who's a big techie, um, he loves Lenovo. Lenovo's is one of his main PCs. Aside from his new, he just got a brand new Alienware, but that's for
Mhm.
you know, he's very happy and excited about it. It's like the slimmest gaming PC out there right now. But
Right.
with this, like I used to have a big 17-inch Alienware. That thing was a brick because it's an older model, and
Right.
so I do have a 12, like I think it's a 12. I think it's 12. I have a 12-inch old Acer portable laptop, but it's like one of those portable laptops where it turns into a tablet as well. I can detach the keyboard. That just in terms of its like internals doesn't isn't staying up to today's day and age. Like if I want to edit on it, it's really laggy now. It's I
Mhm.
mainly just use it as my camera for Rob when we're doing D&D
Nice.
because he's my only player not in person. But anyway, with all that being said, it's one of these things where um, I, as a professional, like to have a PC out on the go with me. If I'm out doing photo shoots or video shoots, if I'm on a massive production day, sometimes I need to dump my footage. So
Right.
I have a 15-inch because it can fit into my camera bags. Now,
Mhm.
it's not the thinnest computer in the world, but it's not like massive either. But this Lenovo is thinner than my current PC or my laptop. And that would be nice just for that the weight and the comfort of being around with my gear bag and even traveling. I always take a computer with me when I'm traveling cuz I'm doing photos, I'm doing video, so I need to transfer stuff. Um or I'm doing shows wherever I am in the world. So it's one of those things where I think just with how slim it is, the portability that it has, but then the being able to make it even more functional for me and be able to expand that display and get that larger display that I like to have, but still keeping it really light and transportable is an exciting option for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's not all.
No, Lenovo also announced a groundbreaking accessory design to redefine efficiency and support. It's powered by ambient light. This groundbreaking keyboard utilizes advanced photovoltaic
Photovoltaic. Yeah.
photovoltaic. Oh my God, I was like, how do I say that? Cells and fast charging that eliminate the need for traditional batteries. So this keyboard sports a sleek, spill resistant black design, incorporating an exterior made from 95% post consumer recycled plastics. It included customizable tilt legs, dedicated media controls, and a 3 zone layout with an on screen brightness indicator and real time power tracking via the Lenovo Accessories and Display Manager. And I think it's great. Like, I think it's amazing that it can actually fast charge. You don't need to have batteries anymore. Like, I feel like we're finally starting to get away from being so reliant on batteries or plugging in and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll
Absolutely.
be interesting. There was other things that they listed too. Like, so Lenovo, like Morgan said, Lenovo went massively huge. But these are just the two things that really stood out.
I actually
There was
picked
a lot of
another
coverage
one.
on them. What?
I picked one more to tell everybody
Oh,
about.
there's one more. But these two, like these two were really
Yes,
massively
these ones are
talked about.
huge.
Yeah.
But to round out our Lenovo lineup for the day, are actually two high performance Microsoft Teams certified webcams that ensure exceptional image quality for both professional and personal use. So the Lenovo QHD webcam offers intelligent AI features such as participant tracking and enhanced lighting adjustments, making video calls seamless and really professional looking. So for those seeking the highest resolution, the Lenovo 4K Pro webcam delivers crystal clear 4K visuals with AI enhancing framing and real-time image optimization, ensuring clarity and precision in every interaction and just kind of like in every frame. So I just want to bring that up because I do like the fact that we're starting to see as streamers who use webcams, we're starting to see the webcam game really finally start to ramp up because that's one thing. It's like, I have a really nice webcam, but I can't do all of that. So I would like it for in real time if my lighting really gets adjusted, or because I happen in my current setup, like you have a window right here in front of me. If it can auto
Mhm.
adjust that lighting for me, that's phenomenal because I always have to worry about later in the day turning on my lights and making sure all my lights are on so I'm properly lit so I can see everything. And hopefully, this can help me maybe having to have this one spotlight on me all the time when I'm streaming. Because sometimes my elbows are like, I don't want you. Go away.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
I
just
don't.
thought it's nice to see that there's new updated webcams coming through that are,
Mhm.
using AI to really really enhance um basically like the adjustment of framing and the adjustment of lighting and everything else.
Yeah, I think webcams definitely need a step up in the game
Yes, they do.
because I mean, yeah, when the 1080s came out for 1080p's, I should say, for webcamming, it was
Hmm.
really great. We were all like, yeah, we're now going to be in HD and not look like we're video games from, the 90s. Woo, we're not 90s video games
Woo!
anymore. That was great, but I mean, I know that Twitch and YouTube and all the other streaming, websites, platforms that we go on, they're going to optimize and change us so that we are fitting within their standards. But for me, I'm like, if I could at least have a nice, crisp, cleaner look, or maybe the image looks a little bit
Hmm.
better than, when all of a sudden the weather here decides that it wants to just shine a giant light in my face.
Right? Feel that.
That'd be nice. Like right now, I've got like a nice little, extra light face going on.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like for you right now, like because you had that light coming in, it makes your camera. almost have this weird soft filter on you, which
I'm very soft. I look
you're
amazing.
it's like an angel coming down.
An
But
angel with tech news.
woo! News angel, tech angel, let's go. But it's one of those things where, like, if you look at mine, it has kind of like this. I like high contrast, so it has like a lot of color contrast. Though I really like the look of it, sometimes there's moments where I'm like, camera, are you okay? Because you don't look as good as you normally do. Or you go to certain areas, or like certain, not, there's no like main standard for webcams across the board.
Mhm.
And if you want to get the really, really good ones, they're like around 150 to 200 plus. Not everybody can afford that, and it'd be nice to get a nice affordable piece of equipment for webcams that is just something that is accessible for everybody.
Right.
And I don't think prices are going to be dropping anytime soon. Let's be honest. But webcams need a better baseline because the bottom line is horrendous. My laptop webcam is awful. Like,
Oh yeah. Laptop webcams are
I
not
can't
good at all.
believe what laptop webcams are as bad as they are when phones can have such good front facing cameras.
I know because they
That
don't
is
put the
a complaint I will get into another day. But
like they don't put the effort into them.
yeah. But like I like that we can hopefully in the future get these upgraded webcams that have better features. One thing about my Razer Kyle Pro that I have is I can change how wide. I can go really wide angle. I'm in the medium angle personally because I like to show stuff in my background. Usually this futon is up and you can see all my plushies. But then like if I wanted to be smaller or I got a new overlay that needs and requires a more narrow camera framing, I can actually change that in the settings of my camera itself and not have to do all like the cropping and everything inside of something like Streamlabs. So all I would love to do is have even more control over lighting and everything else. So it's exciting to
Right.
see that we might be getting that in the future.
Exactly. Well, Morgan, you know,
Here comes the strange
we
stuff.
we talked about some really good stuff, but yeah, we have some very like strange things that have popped
Yeah.
up. But every CES they have the strange, the out there, the more like I guess I would want this. I don't
There's
know.
yeah, there's also a video I've seen on TikTok of apparently a company called Motor Bunny being there, which is definitely for you to saddle on for your pleasure. And I was like, oh, that's at CES. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I chose the ones
it
that are
didn't get
more
that weird. Well,
yeah, can I just say I chose the ones that are a little more PG rated here?
yes,
They're
yes.
weird. They're weird and strange, but they're not
They're not
like
sexual.
yes, yes. All right. Well, have you ever made a cup of coffee or tea and you took a sip and you're like, "Oh, it's too hot."
No, because I let it cool down.
Okay, well, or have you tried to eat soup before and you immediately burn your tongue because you're just starving?
Yeah. All
Okay.
way too frequently.
Well, then, Morgan, I have a new robot that can help cool things down.
Ooh.
This is a tiny robotic cat that can be mounted to a mug or a bowl. Talk about strange, right? It will blow air in intervals to help cool off your hot drink or soup. The company is called Yukai Engineering and says that the product was made to help cool down freshly cooked baby food because so often the team leader said he would feel breathless and dizzy from blowing on the food. It's just cracks me up. It's cute. It's totally cute, guys. I totally agree with you. It is super cute, but it is super funny to me that the reason this was made, it's kind of like the reason that we have when you go to Starbucks and you get a hot drink and they have those sleeves that you put your coffee in because somebody burned their
Mm-hmm.
hand. Because that's what happened because nobody told them that it was too hot. And the fact that this was made was because literally the guy was blowing on the baby food he was making and getting dizzy. So
I just want to know
it's just
how hard was this man blowing? Jesus
I
Christ,
don't know. I don't know.
brother.
I just find it really funny that it just that he's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, that's where a lot of, funny enough, a lot of like new things and patents and like innovations come from. Is just kind of like, man, I need to make my life easier. I wish I had this. And someone's like, but wait, why don't I just get that made?
Right.
What I want to know though is can I like connect it to my finger, and when I'm like at a festival or something and I'm really hot, can it sit there and blow cool air at me while I'm just like woo?
I don't think it I don't I mean, I don't feel like it's a fan. It's very fan-like. I think it's more like if you were to blow on somebody, just, you know?
Sometimes that's all I need.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll stick Dan next to you. He'll just sit there and do that.
I agree, Dan. Dude might want to get checked out for some lung issues. I am concerned for his lung health. Or why are you making food so hot?
Yeah, it's baby food. Baby food's not supposed to be super
Exactly.
hot. And you're
Oh
supposed to test
goodness.
it on your wrist. Well, wait, that's milk. That's the milk part. Well, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know if he was making like it didn't really say what kind of baby food. It could have been like
I mean, once
actual
you,
baby.
I wonder though, like
Well,
usually
you're
you
supposed to
don't
eat it 'cause
warn.
like if you make baby food, you're supposed to like put it in your own mouth
Yeah, you're
and eat.
supposed to test it and make sure everything's good.
Mhm.
But I'm wondering, like, because as young kids get older, they can start transitioning to more like adult food, if you will. And so I wonder, is like, did he maybe make like a porridge or like some oatmeal or something, and it was too hot for his kid, and he's like, like, also, are you trying to blow the house down with how you're blowing this kid's food? Like, are you the big bad wolf?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
what
a
the
big
hell?
bad wolf.
This
And
is cute though. It's a cute design.
I'll cool your food off.
Oh goodness. It's just funny though because it does make me think of like I got you that one that mug that has the cat in the bottom of it. It
Mhm.
like kind of gives me those vibes, or like how there's like little cute little decorations you can get for your mugs. Um
Oh, sorry. We're mixing Goldilocks and the big bad wolf. It's
hey,
totally works.
look. Grim fairy tales can overcross each other, right?
You're right. I mean, look at Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. But for now, everybody, we're gonna stay in the kitchen with a product that might have you scratching your head a little. Check out this spoon from Kieran Holdings. It will simulate the taste of salt for you. This electronic spoon uses a weak electric current to concentrate sodium ion molecules in your food, adding a stronger umami and salt flavor to low sodium foods. It will cost you though about $127.
So I think this is cool because like I don't eat a lot of salt in my food. I'm not
Mhm.
very like I don't add salt to stuff. I hardly do. But for somebody like Tubby, his biggest issue is his doctor literally said you don't get enough salt in your diet, which is interesting. So he has to like add extra salt. And so I was talking to him about this last night and he was like, "Oh, that's really cool." I go, "Yeah, but it's $127." And he's like, "Just kidding. It's not that cool anymore."
Yeah, like, this is something that I could see being really, really awesome and beneficial to like the older
Mhm.
generations who have to have low sodium diets for heart health and everything else. Um, like my grandmother, for example, she has heart issues, so she has to be on a low sodium diet. And she does have issues. Even sometimes going to a restaurant, she'll get a low sodium meal and it is just bland. There is no flavor because they're not adding any extra. Like what's one thing at restaurants is it's a lot of salt, not a lot of anything else.
Mhm.
Especially like your simple like diners, like depending on where you go. Obviously, there's higher class places that do things better, but I think this could be really nice for people who are like kind of like if you aren't tasting food or like enjoying your food and there isn't flavor that can excite you in your food, it actually does do a lot of harm to people's mental health. And that's where you also get a lot of people saying, "Fuck it, I'm old anyway. I'm gonna eat and put in my body whatever I want because I'm gonna die anyway. It doesn't matter." So I could see this being a really nice alternative for them. I had this price point sucks, but if we could maybe get this more of a medical spin on this, where maybe health insurances could help cover it for the older folks, that'd be awesome. I think this is really cool though. I'm someone who doesn't use a lot of salt either. I do use salt, but not a lot. Because salt at its baseline, it is a flavor enhancer. Salt actually opens up the flavor of other spices and things in your food, which is why it's so widely used. MSG does the same thing. It's not MSG is not salt, but it does a similar thing. That's why MSG is used It helps bring out that umami flavor. It helps bring out and enhance the other flavors within your dishes. So that's why some people go a little overboard, is because it does bring in a lot of flavor. The more you use, the more you taste. Um, I use a little bit in my cooking for that flavor enhancement, but honestly, most of my dishes, I use actually less salt now that I cook on my own than when I did with my parents, because cook very differently from my parents. So
Right.
yeah, this is actually, though very weird, actually very intriguing to me, because I
Mhm.
think there could actually be major health benefits to something like this. I don't think everybody's going to go out and buy a salt spoon, but I think it could actually be
And
pretty
you'd be like an
useful.
old lady walking into a store and just being like, "Hello, do you have the salt spoon? What
I
aisle
know.
is that in?"
But
And
literally,
and
I
then the
would I would
customer
be the
service
old
rep just
lady
being like,
though, who has a little case for it in my purse. I'll pull it out at the restaurant.
oh, like she's just sitting there at a restaurant and they come and deliver her stuff and she's like, "Hold on."
Mhm. What's
Just
nice though is like, if this was something that across the board people adopted the spoon and utilized the spoon, it could actually really help with people's food consumption, their cholesterol levels. Like,
right.
you know, especially here in America, food here can be really, really salty.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so like if you're able to if you could utilize this, but and get like even restaurants on board, and like this would have to be something that is adopted by anywhere and everywhere, right? But it could end up actually doing really great health implications for people for being proactive even about their health and their heart health and their cholesterol and so on.
Right.
What's the word
Ram.
spoon?
Well,
Hi,
we were
Ram.
talking about a spoon.
We're talking about a salt spoon.
You're not wrong. Well,
This is
Morgan, let me
interesting.
ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted someone else to measure out your spices for you while you're preparing a dish? And don't tell me you have Dan. Let's pretend Dan's not there.
No, Dan, when I'm in the kitchen, Dan's really there to help me. Um, I have too small of a kitchen. If he is helping me, it's chopping something over on the dining room table. So, yes and no. Yes and no. I'm probably not the right person to ask that question.
Well, I have something for you that you might be more interested in once I share it with you,
We'll
and
see.
everybody else,
We'll
of
see.
course. All right. Well, now you can actually get it all measured because it's an AI powered spice dispenser from the company Spicer. And yes, that's with two R's, not one. Now, the device is the Keurig machine for spices. Individual capsules are actually rotate through while the AI detects how much spice you will need based on the recipe you are using, and then it will dispense it for you. But if you want to add more garlic, which is Morgan's favorite spice, of course,
Oh yeah, it is.
you can with the freeform function, which gives you a little bit more control. So I know you're worried, Morgan, because you're like, oh, I don't want it to just put out what I want. I want it to sometimes just let me do it. I knew that was in the back of your head. So
Eh,
this product isn't available just yet, but you can join a wait list on the company page. It's actually really interesting because sometimes for me, I'm like, I just want to be like, hold this over it and just give me what I need instead of
mhm.
having to run around and try to find stuff because I like having everything just right there. And I
How
know
is your
you cook a
kitchen
lot.
set up, man?
Well, my kitchen setup is fine.
If you're running around looking for your spices, they're in the wrong
No,
spot.
my spices are all in one spot. I just sometimes don't
Okay,
want to
okay,
walk over
okay, okay.
and then walk back.
Just
I
making
want to
sure.
be lazy, okay?
Just making sure. Just making sure.
No, but I like the fact of like if you have set ones that you use all the time,
Yeah.
you could just have it all in one spot, which is really cool.
So I have problems with this.
Okay.
First things first, the issue we have with Keurig, right? Because they said this is the Keurig machine of spices. They have capsules. So Keurig, like the actual pods in Keurigs, have made a ridiculous amount of additional plastic waste across the world, in the oceans, and so on. How is the capsules working? Are these capsules refillable? Because they don't look like just the really thin plastic that Keurig has. So knowing that this spicer is also using a capsule mechanism for these spices, are these refillable? or do I
They
have
looked
to,
like they were.
or do I throw them away, have to get new ones? Do I have to then go and get like the spice? Do I just get the spices from the store? Do I fill them up with the spices from the store? I just have additional questions, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, but then on top of that, I don't measure my spices. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know how much I would want to be like, yeah, let's put in this teaspoon, you know? Obviously it's nice to finally hear that there's like a freeform function where I can be more in control. That is nice. But I'm definitely a person who's like I measure with my heart, so it's very much like throw it in, taste it, and be like, does it need more? Maybe, and then adjust from there. Obviously, you can still do
Morgan, you have to
that.
realize not everybody is culinarily skilled like you are, okay?
That this
Tubby
is my
can't even cook,
personal
and I
problems.
know this because he doesn't cook, okay? Sorry, I'm calling you out, Tubby, and I don't care. Not everybody can cook, and not everybody's like, "Oh, I'll just pour this in and it'll be great," you know?
Those are my personal things with it. I do think it is pretty like don't get me wrong, I do think it's pretty nice. I do think like think of like the electric
Look what
pepper
Dan just said.
grinders. Okay, screw this device. Dan, what you want to do, or Tubby, what you want to do is if you don't know what to put in, start with a teaspoon. Taste it, and then if it feels like it's not like flavorful enough, add another, like, just go up from there. Always as your baseline, start with a teaspoon of spices if you're not sure how much to put in. And level up from there to your personal flavor
Level
preferences.
up from there like it's a video game.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
No, I
This is
personally
this
like
is
this
interesting
because
though.
I feel like for people who maybe are anxiety ridden from, trying to figure out how much to put in, or even to the extent of are a little can't follow directions very well. Like if you have a recipe and you want to follow that recipe, but you're not very good at following directions, because some people are like that, I think this is a great idea for them. Not everybody, um, can walk into a grocery store and pull out whatever, come home, sit down, put
Sure.
it out in front of them and make something from it. A lot of
Sure.
people like having recipes because they want to be able to follow something. But sometimes if you have a disability, sometimes a teaspoon and
Yeah.
a tablespoon can be very confusing for somebody.
No,
And so
that's
this
very
can
true.
be very helpful. So
Yeah.
I like this device because they're finally thinking about people who might have,
No, no, no.
a,
And
a disability.
in that regard, it's fantastic. There's also like the whole thing of like I hate spice racks, or not the spice racks, but like the spinny thing with just like your little tiny things of spices. Hopefully, with this like this, because it doesn't look to be like a small device, it does look like it might be smaller than a those spice racks. So it should hopefully free up a little bit more space if you're one who has one of those spinning spice racks. Um, free up more counter space. And then like you're saying, I do agree for people who are aging or like have disabilities, anything like that. I do think this does have good functionality for people. It's probably not something I would use or might need to get more info before I ever would be interested in using it.
Mhm.
Like I would like to almost see it like in act. Let me see it in action. Give me all the pros and cons. But I do
Yeah.
think there are people who could 100% use this and get a very good like use out of it.
Mhm. Yeah. I think for somebody like you, like this is just too easy for you.
It almost like
You're advanced, okay? You're like up
it
here
brings
in
me
the
back a
advanced
step,
level. You're in the advanced level, way up here, okay? Most average people are like down here chilling. I mean, Toby's sister,
Come to my cooking streams, guys.
it's funny though when I cook, Tubby will be like, I just can't do that. I can't just go to a store, buy something, come home, look at it, and make something. Like I can do that. I can go to a store, pick up certain
Yeah.
things. Know I want to add certain things to it, and I could do that.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm even sometimes I have just random crap in the house that I was like, okay, I have a little bit of this I haven't used yet. This and this and this. What can I make with it? And then
Right.
I just whip something up that I made up in my brain.
Yeah. Like one of the things I've been doing with Dan is I've been sending him, because he needs like certain foods to look at and everything. So I've been sending him recipes to kind of go through. So I'm
Very
curious to see
nice.
how it functions, but probably wouldn't be something I'd consider buying. No, and that's fair.
And
That's
that's where
fair.
I'm at too, Dan, for sure. I'm curious how
And
it
these are
works.
just like strange items, but they're actually like some of them I'm like, okay, like that I could see somebody who would use it, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I would
The
use
only
it.
downside to this, and I'm going to sound like a broken record already on this show, is what's the price, you know? Like, I know it's not
There
out
is no
yet.
price for it.
I know that it's not available yet, but honestly, a device like this, and knowing how kitchen gadgets get priced, I could see this being 100 plus. And not everybody can, really. It's that's a price point I think that's really hard for people. Like, yeah, I'll spend $100 for my spices, you know. Like, I just have my bottle. I'll deal with it the old-fashioned way. That is one downside I could see happening with. I could see a downside to this being its price point.
Oh, you can actually do like cool stuff with like kid stuff for baking. You could have little kids use it. That would be adorable.
That wouldn't be bad. It'd be a good
I'm on
teaching
their
tool.
website right now. And I'm just like, oh my God, there's baking with kids where you can get a whole bunch of things like to help them build their confidence and help with creativity. Because they'll be able to like make colorful cupcakes. Or, they can add cinnamon or pumpkin. Like all these different little things to it. That's cute. I like that. That's adorbs. If you need a spice blend for a recipe, I could see something like this being helpful to dispense the amount of spices you um hold on. You need into a single container that you can add to your ingredients, which is so funny because last weekend I actually did do that. I took a whole bunch of spices and I mixed them together to make a spice mix. And then I made another one for like the the chicken burgers I made.
Mm-hmm.
I took another one and I made it so that it was like a marinade type of thing that went over it.
Sure,
I felt
sure.
very much Morgan like over here at home at the house. I was like, I'm just over here being Morgan. It's fine.
I, I'm so proud of you.
Cook. I know how to cook. My favorite is when I make things and I'm like,
Oh
okay, I'm
yeah.
just gonna remember
See,
what's in this from memory.
so it's airtight
Okay.
patented capsules with compression dispense technology designed to minimize air exposure, maximize freshness, which that is good. But like, okay, choose recipe. How do I want to know more about the capsules? Because honestly, I think those are my biggest problem with it. Because I don't want to make more waste with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing showing me like so far. Like I see like they have the essential collection of like kits you can buy. Like, do I have to buy spices from them every time I run out?
I don't think so. I think that is just if you want to buy them, but I don't think I think you would have to buy the capsules, but you should be
Okay,
able to refill
so
them.
hold on. It says the Spicer device holds up 6 capsules at a time, which can be easily swapped with any capsules you purchase from Spicer. When you order the device, you can receive the essentials kit, which includes 12 spices. Get you started from there. You can order any additional spices you need. So you have to order your spices from them, is what it sounds like to me. So then it goes to say, okay, how much are these fancy capsules? Or can I just go to my grocery store and buy this a larger container of the spice for cheaper if I have to get if I am not able to refill them myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that is probably where, in my personal opinion, my biggest problem could come in with this is if I have to buy refills for it from them and I just toss out the old capsules because that's a lot of added waste. And
But I don't know if the capsules are recyclable. They might be recyclable. There's
yeah, but
nothing on
not
here that says they
not
are.
everywhere does recycle. Like sadly, the community I live in, because it's an HOA base, they don't do recycling. Like I wish I had recycling where I live, but I don't. So I
So the
would,
capsules are actually made from recyclable materials.
which is great.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. But I guess I have questions that I would like to have answered before I can, in my opinion, be like, yeah, I think this is actually a pretty decent device.
Well, don't live somewhere where you can't recycle stuff.
Only that was on the listing when we bought the house. But
Whose fault is that? Yours.
oh
Oh,
no,
they can make custom blends for you. That's kind of cool.
that is nice. It is very interesting, and I do think it does have its good uses, and for the right people, it'll be very useful. Um, I'm just curious to see how it is, knowing like that it can only hold six. There's obviously like a clean and tidy, say goodbye to dirty measuring spoons, blah blah blah. Like there's this whole thing where they have like a little storage thing for a bunch of different capsules, and knowing how many spices I have in my cupboard, that might actually not take away of the whole spinny like thing of like all the spices that are around. So I don't know. It's interesting. Sorry, I didn't think I was gonna be so passionate about this freaking spice dispenser.
I mean that thing holds 16, but if you're elderly, I mean, that's going to make sense.
Sure, no, I do agree with that. I think there is a good demographic out there for this device.
Or even for kids who are just getting their first place and they are cooking for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is good for them.
For sure, I can see
Like
that.
there's a lot of good usage. It's just you're like I
I'm
told
not
you,
in. I'm
you
not in the
are.
demographic,
Oh hell no.
but
You are the culinary cook who appears on like Hell's Kitchen. That's what you are, okay? We already knew this.
I mean,
Yeah, and people
yeah,
with shaky hands. That's a good one too, because they make that
yeah,
spoon for people
yeah,
who have shaky hands to hold the spoon steady for them.
yeah. That's definitely a very good like that. This would be a very good use case for someone like that. Um, my biggest thing, like though I know I probably wouldn't use it, my actual biggest concern is how much is the capsules? How are they refillable, or do I have to throw them away, or can I return the capsules? Like, could there be an exchange thing where, like, if I buy new spices, but can I return my old ones for a discount? And then they can reuse them. I don't know how that works. I think I think genuinely my biggest concern is the implications of if I have to throw away these capsules, it's just going to start harming the environment more because we've seen that happen with Keurig.
I don't know. I use my Keurig.
See, like for me,
I
in my
get the
Keurig,
feeling.
I have the refillable. Went and got the mesh refillable one. So every time I make anything in my Keurig, I use personally. I get coffee, I grind coffee, and I fill up a reusable one, empty it, and wash it, and then that way I'm not getting those capsules to create waste.
Well, I'm creating waste.
It's just my personal thing that I do. That's all. But I also prefer freshly ground coffee. So anyway, I'll end my tangent about this
Are you
spice.
sure?
Yes,
You
because
sure? I mean, I was like, this is a weird device, but it's very interesting.
it
And
is
apparently
interesting.
Morgan got on her high horse.
I got passionate. I'm sorry.
She got on her own butt stallion. Uh,
May I reign.
it's like, damn, okay.
Anyway, KP, I know you love a good cup of coffee, and we were just talking about it. Some
I do,
coffee.
but now I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared. Morgan's gonna be like, this next one is a piece of shit.
Oh, no. KP's never gonna put kitchen gadgets on the show again.
Nope. Never again. Never again. I'm just gonna go with things that are just stupid.
No, I think it makes for good conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, what if you could make your own? You could own a smart espresso machine. What would you be
I don't
interested in
know. My
that?
Keurig's pretty smart, but apparently it makes waste.
Well, I would be interested in a smart espresso machine because I actually really want to get one. Um,
This is so great. Also, tell me nothing's playing because they're just graphics. We
They're
didn't
just
put video
graphics,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, um, oh my god.
No, things are
Sorry.
broken, guys. They're just graphics. We're just showing you the images of the devices that we found. Things are not broken.
Whew. You know, hold on. Let me test something. Let me go back to this. I think I know what the problem might be. It's the hearing.
Oh.
Yeah, because these old ones we haven't used yet. Like, let me fix it all. I'm gonna read everything. All right, everybody, you should be able to hear us now. My apologies on that. But anyway, what I was saying is, I'm just gonna read everything all over again for you. Well, Meticulous made the smart espresso machine with a robotic lever. The machine, called Meticulous Espresso, features 10 digital sensors that will monitor everything from temperature, flow rate and weight of the liquid in the cup. Then it makes real-time adjustments just like a barista. You'll need to dig deep into your cup. I'm laughing because of my
Oh,
reaction that they missed. You'll need
deep
to
in your
dig You'll need to dig deep into your pockets because this machine will cost you a pretty penner. And this is where I went, holy shit, right? Um, so over 1,300. And if you want to add on the milk steamer, you need to add another 250. So for just under $1,500, you can get an AI espresso machine plus a milk steamer. That is insane.
Morgan wants it. So if you guys want to help donate.
Oh my gosh, that is insanely priced.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I want to see it work. So I worked at Starbucks for almost 3 years. I was a barista for 3 years, just under. And I'm very curious about this. I want to see it in action. So I need to go find
I mean, there
how
is
it works
videos
later.
of it. I just didn't pull the videos
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, yeah.
But there's a Kickstarter where you can actually watch it in play. If you want to pull that up, I can send
Ooh,
it.
very
Uh,
nice. Yeah,
hold
please do.
on. We'll make an audible here. There you go.
Thank you. Let me
Hmm.
throw this over into our capture screen for everybody. Da 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 da. Kickstarter. Chill out. Okay. Let me find where the video. Okay, there's the video. Everybody, let me switch on over to the capture side so you can see this video as well. All right, so here it is on Kickstarter, but let's hit play. I might have to mute it. Yes. I'm going to mute it just in case, everybody. So we won't be able to hear anything, but we will see video.
Oh yeah, don't mind the black. It will actually. There you go. I know. I wigged out too. I was
I
like,
was like, hello? I'll make this
yeah.
big for everybody.
You could probably skip ahead a couple bits because it is like a hey, this is what our
At a
product is.
reasonable price? Yeah, right, bud. That ain't no reasonable price. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to skip ahead of this dude. Oh my gosh, just let me see it in action. See, I didn't have to deal with those lever mechanics.
Oh, so they have around. Be nice if they like around 2 minutes they show it.
Around 2 minutes?
Yeah.
So I went too far.
So
Okay.
it weighs your
Oh,
it
here we
weighs
go.
your coffee.
Okay. Which is good. That's nice. That's something you would want to actually do if you don't have a machine that auto does it for you.
You choose a mode.
Oh, they're at Starbucks. Oh, that's
Oh,
really
that's cool. It
interesting.
it pushes up the pressure and then it releases the pressure.
Oh yeah, yeah, which that's normal.
Yep.
I want to be trying it. Can I sip it?
Oh, that's cool. And then it's got the whole tablet app thing.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm actually this is something though the price is nuts. There are actually espresso machines out there that are more expensive than this. Um with all the like AI and like technological features to this, I'm actually honestly not super surprised how expensive it is. There's an espresso machine out there though I've been wanting for 700. But I would have to do all the physical labor of like doing my own steaming and everything else, but I'm okay with that because I did all of the the training. I know how to work machines like that, so I'm okay with that. But this is actually really cool. This is a very interesting creation for the evolution, if you will, of espresso machines. See, not everything kitchen wise is crazy.
I'm just never bringing up spices ever again. I'm officially done with spices and you.
No. Real quick, if since our last one was probably messed up, uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to probably fix all of our other images.
Yay.
Yay! But this is our last one, at least for the or we have a next one for you, like for everybody. That's another cool thing to put on our radar. So let me switch to the image and add the audio thing real quick, which will take me a matter of like a second, and
Okay.
I'll let you go. Take it away.
All right. So, lastly, a product that might be on everyone's radar, a device that can charge your phone in seconds. Now, this device might look like a toaster, but it is anything but that. It's called Swipe It, and it will keep your phone battery charged up. Now, the company hopes to create a life where you never have to plug in your phone into a charger again. It includes a system of interchangeable batteries that fit into specifically designed phone cases. So here's how it works. You insert your phone with the case that houses the extra batteries into the hub. It removes that battery and swaps it in with a freshly charged battery in a matter of seconds. But this device isn't cheap. At $450, you get the hub, which contains 5 batteries. And if you want to add a phone case with a battery included, that will be another 120. At launch, the device will offer cases for the iPhone 14, 15, and 16 series. And the company plans to expand with Samsung's Galaxy series cases by the end of the year. So, Morgan, your phone will eventually be added to the list.
Woo.
Um, but here's where it gets really cool. So there are some introductory promos, such as 30% off your entire purchase if you order in January. And the company is also taking another $100 off as a CES special. Shipping of the system is expected to start in June. So this is kind of cool because imagine you have people come over all the time, Morgan, and are like, "Oh my god, my phone is dead. I need to charge it." You have like a gazillion phone chargers at your house. I know you do because you told me.
I do have
Imagine
iPhone,
being
and I'm
able
not an
to
iPhone user.
No, but imagine coming over and you have this hub instead, and everybody's like, "Oh, my phone's about to die." All they have to do is stick it into your device. It'll take out their old battery and they will take a new battery. Then when they go home to their place, they'll have a new battery. So you can like interswap batteries and be able to like keep your charge going without
Right.
having to be like, "Hey Morgan, do you have a plug? I need to find it. Where is it?" Okay, do you have an outlet I can stick it into? Okay, great. Okay, I'm gonna leave my phone over here. Just remind me that I left it with you.
See, I agree, Tubby. I was just like just thinking that, but I don't want their old battery. That is very fair. But I would assume it can charge them before my friends leave their house. They can just swap out my battery back to their battery that was in their charging.
I don't know if you can choose which batteries are which.
Hmm. Because I do like I know how I treat my stuff. I don't know how my friends treat their stuff. What if they have a bad battery, and then they pawn their bad battery off on me? But I do get the concept. It is a nice concept for sure. You can minimize all that cable, or like at your bedroom, let's say, at your side table. Like I have uh my Alexa plugged in. I have to have a charger plugged in for my phone. I have to have a charger plugged in for my smartwatch. Like there's a bunch of cords going behind my, and then I have a light on my side table. So like I have like four cords right there behind at my side table at my bed.
Mhm.
So yeah, it could also help minimize all that like cordage.
Now they released a video on this because I was like, "Oh, what does this look like?" It is loud as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. It is super loud, but they said when they released the product that they're actually gonna make it so that it has sound dampening, so it's not like just sounds like chaos happening in your house. So that's at least nice. And yeah, I understand like you don't know what your friends have been doing with their batteries. Like I hope they're not just pulling them out of the case and throwing them around, you know. I hope that's not happening because that would be weird. Um but I do like the fact of, for me, like if I'm at the house and I'm like, wow, my battery's almost dead because I don't charge my phone to 100% right now. And so that'd be really cool just to be like, oh, let me just swap this out. And you can do things in the app where you can actually tell it to only charge your phone up to a certain amount. You can set times and stuff like that. But
That's
as far
nice.
as batteries go, I don't know if you can actually be like,
Yeah.
hey, this battery was just stuck in there. Can you swap that back out? I don't know how that works because I don't know the ins and outs of all of the app. It
Gotcha,
could be in there.
gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely a really intriguing device. I'm curious to see like how useful, I guess, or like how, I guess not necessarily how useful, but I guess I'm curious to see how well used it is by people. Like how many people
Mhm.
are going to go out and buy this, and how, I guess, how much will it change my daily life? Will it make it better with my phone usage? Like right now, I my battery's great because but I just got a brand new phone. But this could be really nice for those who have older phones and like their batteries are starting to slowly lose their power. Like my uh S22 Ultra that I was on, I could finally
Mhm.
tell was starting to lose its longevity in the day. So it could be really useful for people who are having that issue, but also don't want to get a new phone yet, or they're still doing their payment plan and they're not eligible for an upgrade on their phone with their phone service. So it could be a nice
Right.
way to help get around those power issues people have.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right, everyone. That's a wrap on our CES 2025 highlight. There are many more cool things to talk about, and if we did, we'd be here for weeks. So make sure you do your own research too on everything that happened at CES 2025 because there's a lot of cool stuff out there. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. But when we return, we have a brand new segment for you that will highlight the video games coming out next week from January 13th through January 19th. So we'll see y'all soon. Oh wait. No. All right, everybody. We're gonna take a look now ahead at the week ahead for video games coming out. So first things first, we
Is there
have.
anything with like spices?
Is there anything with spices? Um, hold
So then
on.
we can go through another tangent.
Hold on, I gotta fix something because our audio is being funky on this one. Hello?
Hello.
Can people hear us? It's just weird because it's not showing us the peaking even though our stuff is there.
During the video game. Yeah,
Okay,
Dan
you can
says
hear
we can.
us? Perfect, perfect. Let me know if for some reason you can't. But it looks like everything's good now. Anyway, that was weird. I just don't see our audio levels moving, and now I'm all like hyper, like, where's our audio? All right, so first things first, everybody. We have Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. This game releases on Tuesday, January 14th, next week on PC, and there is a demo available on Steam if you want to give it a try before buying. Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 is a roguelite that offers extensive, persistent progression. You build your own town and upgrade and equip your heroes, all before taking on the ever changing Dark Citadel, either solo or with a team of friends.
And the cops are coming to get you if you play the game. No, I'm
They're
just kidding.
coming. They're coming. You better play this game or the cops will come for you. So next we have Hyperlight Breaker, also releasing on Tuesday, January 14th for PC players. In Hyperlight Breaker, you enter the Overgrowth, a new realm in the world of Hyperlight. Play alone or with friends to explore open worlds, create new builds, rip through hordes, and overcome the crowns and the Abyss King. But the releases don't stop there. What else do you have us for SKP?
Well, Morgan, I'm glad you asked because we have a PC game releasing on Tuesday, January 14th named Threefold Recital. This game is set in an Asian-inspired fantasy world where the metropolis of Blue Scales faces turmoil after a long golden age. Now, the mix of magic, modern, and ancient technologies challenges governance, while tensions between humans, beastlings, and dragons grow. In the shadows, a crisis looms. Is there supposed to be more?
Nope, that's how it
Oh,
ended.
okay. I was like,
That is all that I could find on that game, and that is exactly how they wrote it.
just when I read this beforehand, I was like, okay. I guess There's no more to the game. That's all
Nope.
you guys get. Sorry.
That is what the developers gave everybody online, so that's what we have.
If you want to learn more, buy the game. But here's a release Morgan and I have been waiting for. Aloft. And that's all, folks. It releases on Wednesday, January 15th on PC. However, if you want to try it out before you buy, there is a demo available on Steam. Now, this demo is multiplayer capable. It's not as intense as the original demo they put out. And Shirtless Dan and I can attest to that. This one's a little bit more watered down. But you get to soar the skies in Aloft, the co-op sandbox survival game set in a world of floating islands. Build any island into a skyship, your home in the clouds. Find lost knowledge, cure the fungal corruption, and brave the hurricane to restore the ecosystem. Just another really fun fact about this game, too, that people don't realize is that the developer actually did stop in my stream one day and was talking to me and Dan about it. So he's going to make this available so that people, the community, can actually build islands also and add it to the
Oh, that's
game.
sick. I love that.
Yeah. So the game itself is going to just keep growing and growing and growing all by itself with the help of the community.
That's awesome.
So I love the idea that he is allowing community members to be a part of the game overall.
Mhm. That's sick. I
So
love that.
definitely check it out. It's really fun. And it's changed a lot from the first demo. He's done a lot of changes on it, and it's really cool.
Sick. I love it. I'm so excited for this to release. I hope it's affordable because I really want it.
$100.
Fuck!
Looks like I'm buying that spice dispenser.
Oh, man. Well, guys, next coming to PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and the Switch is the console edition of Runny Bunny. On Wednesday, January 15th, it'll be released on consoles. There is a PC version of the video game on Steam, and there is also a PC demo available over on Steam as well. But Runny Bunny is an arcade game where you control a little bunny that must collect all the dots and carrots to unlock the passage to the next level.
Super cute sounding.
It does sound
Yes,
really
spicy
cute.
grandmas. That's right, spicy grandmas.
That's all, folks. Next, though, we also have coming to PC on Wednesday, January 15th, is the video game The Root Trees Are Dead. I hope I said that right. Uh, um, this, I think I said that right. I hope. I don't know. Anyway, this is a genealogical mystery straight out of 1998. You scour the early internet for clues, uncover hidden connections, and piece together the family tree behind the secretive Root Tree Corporation.
Wait, if we're coming out from like 1998, could we have like old school internet connection?
You have the old dial-up sounds and everything.
Yeah, can we have the old guy? I mean, and then you've got mail because that's the only way I'm gonna know that I'm in the 90. I'm in
Yeah, right
98.
though. Maybe we'll have like a the old like big tube monitors in the game.
It was only a few years ago. Don't know why you're calling it old school. I mean,
I mean,
it does
um,
feel very far away, even though it's really not.
it's been over 25 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
Sorry, Tubby. It's been over 25 years. It's an adult.
speaking of some throwbacks,
Oh
though, I
God,
think.
no. Yeah.
Speaking of
It's an
some
adult. Almost
throwbacks.
30.
Speaking of throwbacks, though, I think you got another one for us, right?
Yeah, so next we have is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which is releasing on Thursday, January 16th on PC, PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox S, Xbox One, and the Switch. Now you get to stomp enemies, blast through barrels, and ride rockets, minecarts, and even Rambi the Rhino in 80 levels across 9 worlds, including the additional levels from the Nintendo 3D STM version. This one, for all my Nintendo fans out there, it's a good throwback.
It's a fun throwback. You know, this is, in my opinion, without them calling it remastered, it's almost like a remastered version in a way of like the Nintendo 3DS model game that we had. So it's like new and improved, but yeah. Yeah, Nintendo coming to PC, this is new. It is something very new, and it's a couple things I noticed with Nintendo recently. Um, is it? I don't know where it's being released on PC. It's definitely not Steam. They don't have anything on Steam.
Hmm.
And that's something I want to deep dive and try to find out for us because there's apparently these games are going to be available on PC. So I want to find out where you guys can buy them. So stay tuned to our Discord and I'll let you know where.
And I have another throwback game releasing
Another
also
one?
on Thursday, January 16th on PC, and it's Montezuma's Revenge. It's the 40th anniversary edition. Now, this unfinished 80s classic returns, now complete and fully evolved with 2.5D style. Explore 100 tricky chambers, dodge traps, and try to escape with your treasures and your life.
Oh man. Well, the other
Ah! Montezuma!
there might be a spider. You may not want to play it.
No, no, I'm gonna not look at that image right
I'm
now.
I'm gonna switch because the other game releasing on Thursday, January 16th, is Things Too Ugly. It will be available for purchase on PC, Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. So what you're gonna do is clock in at Terabro Incorporated for the night shift in 1986. Protect the company's legacy as a risk assessment data processor. You'll be equipped with era specific technology, navigate through obscure narratives to shape the company's future. So this one kind of gives me maybe Five Nights at Freddy vibes just from the description. But like maybe not with like creepy animatronics trying to kill you. But yeah, another throwback for you, Tubby, since you're gonna deal with 1986 technologies.
It's gonna be like 1986. That was like a few years ago. No, no, that's almost
No.
40 now.
Actually, over.
No.
Oh no, under. Sorry, my brain cannot
Yes.
compute. Anyway,
You'll
so
need to come over there, Morgan.
oh man. But now I do have another one for everybody. Now we have our first game releasing on Friday, January 17th, and that is Dynasty Warriors Origins. This game will be available for purchase on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Also, there is a PC demo available on Steam right now if you wish to try out the game first. A nameless hero conquers the turbulent and chaotic Three Kingdoms alongside legendary figures in the latest entry of Dynasty Warrior series. Dynasty Warriors Origins will deliver an unrivaled sense of realism to the battlefield. But I think there's one last game coming out.
Yeah, so the last video game releasing next week and on Friday, January 17th is Tales of Grace F remastered on the Switch. Now, in this game, bonds transcend time, venture to the planet Ephenia, TP become Absol Lant, as he is joined by his childhood friends and the mysterious Sophie on a journey after becoming drawn into a conflict between three kingdoms vying for control of the planet. Now, this one is kind of cute. I'm gonna
Yeah,
skip the spider one though.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. Seems very excited for this one. He's a huge fan. Tales of Series is great. The great game is a great game series to get into if interested in Japanese RPG. Very good to know. I'm not familiar with that series if I'm being honest with you. So it looks really cute though. I like the artwork that I've seen. I think though, out of all of these, the one that we're both the most excited for is Aloft.
Oh yeah.
Though, if I'm being honest with you, I'm kind of
Hmm.
intrigued by where is it? Which one was it? Things Too Ugly. The one where you're the risk assessment data processor. I want to go look at its video and see like what if the developer does have a video out for it to see like what the trailer is like because I'm kind of curious what that involves. It could be fun.
Yeah. Go pull it up.
Let me. Open a page. Let's see. Is this something we think will be exciting? Is there any others that you want me to pull up for you to look at?
Uh, no, I think I'm good.
All right. No, I want to click on it. Thank you. So let's see. There is a video. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to start the video over for everybody. Start over. It definitely has the old school, like computer vibes. Oh, is it just like typing stuff in it? So it seems like it's very much you're just at your like desk. I didn't really get a lot of info from that, if I'm being honest. But it is by Baltoro Games.
Hmm.
Hmm. Interesting. I don't know if that's 100% my vibe, but we'll find out. I'm intrigued by at least what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting. But yeah, I'm really excited for Aloft. I cannot wait for us to dive into making our islands and making them grow and just living in the clouds.
I'm gonna be very curious. Shirtless Dan and I were talking about it. Because we were wondering, like, one of the things we found out is that you possibly could bring your old island with you to another place.
Okay.
And that would be fascinating, but also at the same time, like, also kind of disappointing. Because if you're starting a whole thing with friends, you kind of want to be all level and even keel and stuff like that because you want
Yeah.
to experience together. So I feel like that would kind of ruin it a little bit, especially if somebody like, that we know is really big into building stuff without us there.
So my question, I guess, for all that is like, I don't mind that being an option, like for like future, like after we've played it a while and we just wanted to like,
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like
redo
after we
things.
played for a
But
while,
you're
like
not forced to do that, right? Like
no,
it's an
I don't think so.
option. Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, that's good
But
at
we also
least.
don't know like how many different saves can you have and all
Fair,
that stuff. Like
fair.
we don't know like can you start on one island with a whole bunch of people, but then can you be on a different island with a whole bunch of people? Like there's still so many questions because the multiplayer demo only gave you so much because they did water that down and they pulled it back. But yeah, we'll definitely know more by the end of next week. Um, I'm also curious, like one thing that we were talking about was if you make a community island, right? Let's say your community island is
Mm-hmm.
just like some basic stuff that you would have. You would have like a farm or a lounge or a kitchen, or a map is there or something like that. But then you have your transportable islands that you can take anywhere with you.
Right.
Like can you like teleport and then teleport back, or do you have to fly the whole freaking island back to it? Or do you take the island with you? Like, do you connect it to yourself and take the giant community island with you as you fly through? Like, how does that all work? Because you don't have to all live on the same island together. You can all live on your own islands.
Right.
But you can build up as many islands as you want. Nothing says that you can't have multiple islands that you call your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's great is at least the game you can have up to 8 people. I know for us, like the biggest issue is we have our 4 core friends, but at the same time, it's like, but we want to expand. We want to let other people in, but sometimes it's like, well, we already reached our limit, especially with games that only give us 4 players. So at least with this, like it gives us the opportunity to be like, oh, we can have like 4 other people with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's nice. And I
Very
also
nice.
want to know, like, what's the drop in and drop out rate? Like, if you hit your 8 people, is it only those 8 people can join that island? Or let's say, Morgan, you're like, oh, I can't play tonight. And let's say somebody else wants to join in. Can they still join in?
Gotcha.
Like, can it be like a drop in, drop out kind of situation? Or does it have to be a set core set of people? I don't know yet. I mean, there's just too many questions, too many
Well,
answers, and too much of them going, hurrah, look at us. We're
we
in
will
this
find
further
out
core.
Wednesday when it releases.
We do. We find out on Wednesday.
Well,
So,
everybody.
and we'll also know how much it is.
Yes, right?
Keeping fingers crossed for drop in and drop out. Yeah, me too. I'm keeping fingers crossed because I think that would be really nice. Because then if you have people that don't always or can't always be there, at least that gives them the opportunity to be like, well, I can't today, but, let's say Latin wants to join or Tubby wants to join us. At least we have room.
Right, for sure. For sure. Oh, anything else before we wrap up tonight's show? Or today's show?
No, no. I'm really excited for
Oh,
next week, though. It'll be a good
yeah.
one.
Yeah, for next week, for our next show, we're actually diving back into game reviews and the latest tech news for the week. So yeah, we have some, some game reviews and stuff we haven't had a chance to show y'all yet, and we'll be airing them next week. But we also want to make sure that you don't forget you can get 10% off your order on our merch store. Or if there is something you don't see on there that you would like, let us know in our Discord because we're going to add more merch in the future. And if you guys have design ideas that you want, we'll make them. But
Yeah.
yeah, just in case you need it, there's that link if you need the link to our merch store. Make sure to use the code DuckCrew10 for 10% off your order. But as always, we will have the topics we discussed in our Discord server, specifically in the show topics section. So if you're not in our Discord, go join now. It's in our About page. And
Where have you been?
yeah, come on. Come join the fun over there. But also, before we go, don't forget to check us out across all of our social medias. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. So make sure you don't forget to head on over there and follow us. That way you know when we're going live. And then I'll talk and look at that today ramp. We'll figure that out. But yeah.
And don't forget, guys, show us some love, by hitting the little heart on Twitter or hitting the subscribe button
Twitch.
and the like on YouTube. All of this helps us grow, across the board. And that's what we want to do. We want to grow. We've grown so much so far, and we want to keep going because we love doing this. This
We
is
do.
something that we greatly enjoy doing, talking about these topics, letting you guys voice your opinions, interviewing streamers or content creators on our show, which we will have more of that too
Mm-hmm.
coming up in this year. So there is a lot going to be happening, and we're really excited and can't wait to show you guys everything that we can come up with, especially when we just decide to make new content segments out of nowhere. Uh, it's always great.
And I get
Until
them made
then,
at 2 a.m.
until then, don't buy the meticulous espresso machine because it costs too much. Instead, like us for free and keep processing.
Bye, everyone.